So in the previous lecture, we had discussed about the different types of asexual reproduction in various organisms, right? All of you remember till here we have completed all the points,
Yes.
right? And
Yes.
you have understood properly what is the meaning of asexual reproduction, why it is significant, right?
Yes.
And we have seen that in the case of unicellular, multicellular, like lower animals, lower plants, microorganisms, all the points we have seen, and we have completed till here, that is vegetative propagation, which is only for plants, right? This was the last one that we completed, and we have finished discussion about asexual reproduction. Okay, so all of you remember very well, we are doing life process 2, which is only about reproduction in different organisms, correct? So we had started with what is reproduction, why it is significant, correct? Then we have discussed about the different methods of reproduction, that is asexual and sexual. Okay, and we have seen the differences between both of them, right? Out of the two, which one is having more significance when it comes to evolution? Asexual or sexual? Evolutionary significance अगर पूछते हैं तो which one is a better one? Yes, Dipali, a new student is joining us. No problem. Yes, so between asexual and sexual reproduction, which one is a better mode of reproduction overall from evolution point of view?
Sexual reproduction.
Sexual reproduction.
Why do you feel so? What is the one main reason? What is
Characteristics transfer from parents to offspring.
that happens in asexual also? In any kind of reproduction, it is ultimately the transferring of characters or the genes that we say. So why is sexual reproduction efficient as compared to asexual reproduction? What can be the reason? Which type of cell divisions take place in asexual and in sexual reproduction? You recollect those differences? In asexual reproduction, which type of divisions are involved? It is
Mitosis.
mitosis. Okay, it is only mitosis that takes place in asexual. What about sexual reproduction?
Both mitosis and mitosis.
Huh?
Mitosis and
Mitosis and mitosis.
Mitosis.
It is not mitosis, it is meiosis. Okay, pronunciation is meiosis and mitosis. Okay, there are two different divisions. We have already seen that in life process 1. So you know very well that whenever there is meiosis, there is formation of the gametes, and for that there is an exchange of the chromosomes which are taking place, gene shuffling. That's the reason in the case of sexual reproduction, the young ones which are produced have got some characteristic combination of genes from both the parents. So we use the word variations, which is not found in asexual reproduction. Okay, that is why the young ones which are produced in asexual reproduction, we simply call them as clones. They are exact copies of the parents, even genetically. Got it? But in the case of sexual reproduction, they are not exact copies. They are not the exact copies. They are similar to the parents, but having a combination of both. So they are more efficient in surviving the existing environment. Understood the difference? Okay, so in all these examples of asexual reproduction that we have seen, okay, so it's like the young ones are produced. As in the case of say spore formation, you know, there are many huge number of young ones produced, but they are all very similar, exactly same as each other. So there is no genetic variation, which is necessary for evolution. Now that we will see in the case of sexual reproduction. Okay, So these examples, no doubt you have to remember, and then we have to discuss in detail about sexual reproduction. And then if you compare this with the asexual reproduction, you will understand why this is a better mode of reproduction. The only advantage of asexual over sexual is that asexual reproduction takes place faster. Only one parent is needed. Sexual reproduction is a slow process, a complicated process, but it gives a better result. That way you have to understand. Okay. So today we will discuss completely about sexual reproduction in plants. Okay. So that in the next lecture we can start with sexual reproduction in human beings. So like one full topic can get over there properly. Okay. You didn't have any other class before this, right? Now?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So
Yes.
if I extend it a little more, it will be okay with all of you, right? I will entirely this one full story we can complete, so it will be interesting then. Okay. Okay. So before coming to sexual reproduction, first take a look and understand how exactly sexual reproduction is carried out in any living organism. Okay, in general, whatever organisms carry out sexual reproduction, what is the basic general process? Okay, so firstly, as you know, sexual reproduction involves two parents. Okay, so one parent we call as the male parent, and this is the symbol for male. Okay, and normally we consider the parents as, what does this 2n indicate? Do you remember that? 2n, n वगैरह क्या indicate करते हैं? Recollect cell division and all. I had mentioned it there. There is a word starting with the letter D. D for Dipali. दीपाली के नाम का फर्स्ट 3 लेटर्स सेम है. व्हाट आई एम आस्किंग, बोलो.
Diploid.
Very good. It is diploid. Now you remember better. Yes, Dipali.
Yes.
Okay. It is diploid. That means double set of chromosomes. That is what is 2n. Okay. Remember these basic points. These are very, very important. Okay. So that is one parent called the male parent. Okay. Similarly, there is another parent called female parent. Okay. उसका ये symbol है, and that is also diploid. And it is understood that both the male and the female parent belongs to the same species. Okay, that is the ideal condition, right? Okay. Now, how do we designate which parent is male and which is female? On what basis do we say for any organism? Yes. Is there any condition for that? Think about this question. When we'll see the general process, then you can tell me. Okay. Now, these two parents, each one of them have their respective sex organs. So the male parent will have the male sex organs, and of course, they are also diploid. Similarly, female sex organs are present on the female parent. That is also diploid. Okay. Then both the sex organs in both the parents will produce what? The respective gametes. Okay, both the sex organs in both the parents will produce the respective gametes. This word we have already come across earlier. You know that, and you can see it is
Yes.
written as N in the bracket, that is haploid. Okay, so what is the name of the process where the sex organs are producing the gametes? By which process?
Zygote.
No. Zygote is after the fertilization, and zygote is not a process. By which process in the male sex organ and the female sex organ are the respective gametes produced? It is one type of a cell division which you have already studied. Gametes are produced by only one type of a cell division. Which one is it? Which type of cell division produces gametes? where the diploid cells are becoming haploid. We just mentioned. That's why you studied about cell division in the previous lesson. Yes, Harsha? Tell me the name of the process. You have studied only two types of cell division, which I have given a complete overview, right?
Mitosis and meiosis.
Both of them do not produce gametes. Gametes are produced by only meiosis. Got it? See, understand that part very, very clearly first. That is very important. Okay, quickly take a look. I'll revise quickly that small part once again. See, whenever there is mitosis, okay, I'm just writing MIT. So in case of mitosis, whenever there is one diploid cell, observe this carefully, one diploid cell undergoing mitosis, it will produce two daughter cells. How many daughter cells? Two. And both of them will be diploid only. That is mitosis. Got it? Okay, so this takes place in every cell of the body for growth and development, for repair and all. But when you talk about meiosis, I will write MEI. So one diploid cell which is undergoing meiosis will first produce two daughter cells. Meiosis takes place in two steps. So this is meiosis 1, in which there are two daughter cells produced. Both of them are haploid. Okay, and then these two will undergo further meiosis 2. Okay, and the meiosis 2 which is produced will ultimately result in the formation of two more daughter cells. They are also haploid. Getting it? So overall for meiosis, what are you supposed to say? One diploid cell undergoes meiosis to produce 4 haploid daughter cells. And these 4 haploid daughter cells are simply called gametes. Understood?
Yes,
They are
sir.
known as
Yes.
gametes. So gametes are always haploid, or you can say gametes are always having half the number of chromosomes as that of the parental cell. And these are produced only in the reproductive organs. That is why if it is asked that the respective sex organs producing the gametes, so the only process is meiosis. Now is it clear? This concept is very, very important, very basic. And here we are not talking about specifically any particular organism as such. It is for all those organisms which carry out sexual reproduction, whether it is plants or human beings or other animals, whatever. It's a general process I'm showing you first. Got it? Because if this is clear, then you will be very clear about how it takes place in plants and other human beings. Okay, shall I erase this part?
Yes.
Okay. So in both the respective sex organs, the gametes are produced. Okay. Male gametes are called sperms. And what is the name given to the female gamete? Any idea? Egg or the ovum. Okay. In different species, sometimes the names can change, but in general, we say male gametes are the sperms, female gametes are called egg or the ovum. Okay. And then what will happen? Because both are individual cells, they are haploid cells. So the sperms will travel towards the egg and then they will fuse. Two cells will fuse. Okay. So this haploid cell will fuse with this haploid cell. or you can say a haploid sperm fuses with an haploid egg, and that process is called fertilization. Okay, so fertilization क्या है अगर ऐसा पूछते हैं तो what are you going to answer? The fusion of the sperm with an egg or the ovum, or the fusion of a male gamete with a female gamete is called fertilization. Okay, so a haploid cell fusing with another haploid cell, so the result will be a diploid cell again. Getting it? Whatever is the chromosome number, it will change from one species to another. Okay, so half the number of chromosome mixing with another half over here. That's why the resulting cell produced by fertilization, it is called as, उसको बोलते हैं zygote. Now you understood this, Sundar? Okay.
Yes, sir.
This zygote which is produced over here is the new diploid cell, and it is the first cell of the new life that is produced. That is zygote. So every organism undergoing sexual reproduction begins its life as a zygote, which is unicellular, one cell, having double set of chromosomes, haploid and haploid. Okay, now here when the sex organs produce the respective gametes, as I said, they undergo meiosis division over there. Okay, that means what? The chromosome number is becoming half, but at the same time in meiosis there is a process called recombination or crossing over taking place, right? So that crossing over of recombination is giving rise to reshuffling of the genes. So there is one combination of genes in the sperms and another combination of genes in the egg or the ovum. Both of them are combining and going to the zygote. So the zygote is getting a totally new combination of genes, which is not the same as in the parent. Are you getting it? And that is called as variation. So this is seen only in the case of sexual reproduction. Okay, and the zygote will further develop. Okay, zygote is one cell, so it will divide, it will redivide, it will differentiate, it will develop, and ultimately give rise to the embryo. So understand the terms and where are they coming. That is very important. So zygote develops to give rise to embryo. Got it? And that embryo ultimately grows further to give rise to the young one, which we call as the offspring. So that depends from one species to another. Whatever is the species of the parent, the same species of the young one will be developed. So we use the word offspring over here. Okay, understood the general process of sexual reproduction properly?
Yes, sir.
Okay, because
Yes.
generally I have seen among the students that the terms get mixed up, as what Sundar also answered कि क्या process है पूछा तो first zygote बोल दिया. It happens because it is not explained very clearly. But I hope now the clarification is done and you know, and in the exam if there is a question that the first cell of a new life in sexually reproducing organism is. So what's the answer?
Zygote.
Zygote. That way you have to remember. Okay, Dipali, is it clear now?
Yes.
Okay, Ishika, are you in this world? Yes, Ishika, समझ रहे
Yes.
सब अच्छे से?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. So that was about the general process. Okay, here you can see male and the female, the symbols also you need to remember. Okay, now again back to that question which I asked you. How it is decided which organism is a male and which is a female? On what basis? Why the male gamete is not called egg? Why the female gamete is not called as a sperm? There is some general rule in the biological world. Any idea? Okay, the answer is very clear. Okay, we have decided which are the males and which are the females based on one general criteria. When it comes to gametes, male gametes are always produced in large numbers as compared to female gametes. As you can see here, many sperms surrounding one ovum. Okay, so first reason why male is a male and female is a female is male gametes are always produced in large numbers. So among the two sexes, those who produce the maximum number of gametes are called male, and the one which produces less or very few gametes are called females. Okay. Second point, male gametes are mostly motile. Motile, when you say, it means they can move, they can swim. And male gametes are the ones who will travel to the female gamete. It will never happen that a female gamete is traveling towards the male. Getting it? That is a fixed rule. So you find this across every species. Those gametes, one of the gametes will go towards the other gamete. So the gametes who are actually taking all the efforts to reach the other gamete is the male. And that's why they are produced in large numbers, because most of the time, many of the cells are not able to swim, they are wasted, they don't reach the proper female gamete. Okay, and why female gametes are produced in less number? Because they don't have to go anywhere, they just have to wait, the males will come. Getting it? So they are at the receiving end. And whenever fertilization will take place, the fertilization takes place in the female gamete. That means the sperm will enter the female egg cell, and there the nucleus will fuse. Okay, so afterwards, the zygote which is produced is in the female body itself. That's how you understand maleness and femaleness. Now, is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. So in the case of flowering plants, it's like the anthers produce the pollen grains. This is, you must have heard, we'll see that in detail now. Okay, so the pollen grains which are produced, they are known as the males because they are produced in large numbers. But the ovary of a flower producing the egg is a female. So across every organism you see, this is the rule. And that's how you understand what is the male and what is the female. Okay, this is also very important to understand. Okay, so is this general background about sexual reproduction is very important to understand. Okay, and then based on this, we can begin with sexual reproduction in higher plants. Okay, so the entire story of higher plants will be seeing for sexual reproduction. Okay.